What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Mad Red United. Welcome to the build-up to the weekend and what has gone past. It is the channel for real football talk. Tonight, I'm joined by our kid, Ant. How you doing? Okay?
No, all good. At you,
Yeah, battling on, getting there.
plodding
Tier
on.
3 Manchester now, people, so we're having to deal with a little bit, well, nothing's really
No,
changed, to be honest. It is just
no,
crap still, so let's
we're
just
living it up.
summarise it all in the crap category, and I think we'll get on just all right. Tonight's show will be without interruption of idiots like it was after the show. It didn't go unnoticed, and I have got moderators in the comment section as well. So anything like that happens again, it's going to get quashed quickly. So yeah, that I can only apologise for. If anything offensive came out on the show after the PSG game, it was few idiots hanging around. So yep, you can't get rid of them all. But anyway, getting into it. Quickly, to all you members out there and all you members who missed out on the shirt because King Cantona 7, one of my longest serving members, actually won the United Retro shirt. It was announced on Wednesday, but I will be doing more of that stuff. Big shout out to Z Kits for hooking me up with that and future prizes as well, which are coming. I've got some big news regarding some other deals coming up, some more, even some merch maybe coming up, sponsors coming up, all sorts going on with the channel right now. I will keep you posted as and when. Hopefully I'll have more news on that for the Sunday show. And the Sunday show, we'll have a few more guests on that as well. And we're going to have the aftermath of Saturday, Chelsea. Looking ahead to Chelsea, and it seems like Ole has finally started to come down hard on these players because we're hearing stories this week that Mason Greenwood has been reprimanded in a way where he hasn't been in the squad because he has turned up late to training. There's been rumours of drinking, although Ole has quashed them rumours straight out. But it's good to see that sort of strictness coming into our squad. Players not being able to get away with stupid little things now. So, I mean, is it something that you like the sound of, or is it being a bit harsh on the younger players? Do we have to sort of soft soak them a little bit more?
No, I totally agree. I'm all for it, giving them a bit of hard treatment. It's what they need to learn. It's the Fergie days. Ferguson used to do this with all the young players. He used to take them away from the press, and he used to play them for a few games. Then you won't see him for a while. Play him again to avoid any of this aggravation. And obviously, Greenwood's just got a bit too big for his boots with all the stuff that's happened with England. And obviously, he's thought his place was nailed down going into the season on that right wing spot. And obviously, it's changed. He's injured now, but obviously, he's obviously had a bad few weeks. And Ollie's just took him out of the limelight. But he does. I'm actually happy that Ollie's actually grow a pair of bollocks and actually try to deal with this situation and actually show him who's boss in the dressing rooms. But the senior players need to be having a word with him as well. Rashford, and the likes of Rashford and Bruno, Maguire need to get a grip of him and just tell him to simmer down a bit because at the end of the day, you're playing for Manchester United, representing
Yeah.
one of the biggest clubs in the world. And Ollie's probably been on to Fergie talking about it, how he used to deal with all the young ones because he used to deal with all the young ones.
Yeah, I mean, I was just speaking with Soph on her channel, hairdryer treatment, and I was just saying then it was like, well, it's taken a 6-1 defeat for these players to take notice, but we've noticed the likes of Matic not being anywhere near the squad. I mean, after Tuesday's performance against PSG, sorry, is there a case for you going into the weekend of if it ain't broke, don't fix it, or do you see Maguire coming straight back into that team?
I'm all for it. If it's not broken, don't you know what I mean? Go for it because Maguire shouldn't be in that team. The way I've seen it against PSG is that he had Lindelof, Axel, and Shaw, very mobile defenders in my eyes. And like you said, there was no balls being whipped into the box for Maguire to defend. PSG weren't that type of style. They were coming out as fast, and the defenders dealt with it really well. And Axel was amazing. I don't know if it's going to be a one-off or not. I'm not going to get too carried away about Axel because it's just his first game back. But obviously, if he carries on like that, it's hard to ignore. It's hard to ignore him. But in terms of keeping the team, it has to stay the same. Ollie likes Fred and McTominay together. He did that last season when we had no Pogba and we had no Bruno, and he played Fred and McTominay, and I think it was Lingard in front of him in like a number 10, Martial Rashford, Martial, and I think it was Dan James going on that run when we beat Spurs and we beat City. He trusts Fred and McTominay, but I don't think he trusts Pogba, Bruno, or Van der Beek together. I don't think he can actually play them all together, to be honest. So you got to keep
This is all about finding. Yeah, it's all about finding the balance to this team with them sort of players. I mean, we've seen Fred come in, and I give Fred my man of the match against PSG. I thought he stepped up. I was a bit worried at the start. I did have my fears for that team lineup that I've seen, but I didn't expect Fred to step up the way he did. He only had a good season last season, but that performance against PSG, that was on a different level for me. He stepped up to a point where his composure and his timing of passes, let alone the passes, knowing when to pass, knowing when to carry the ball. He did a little bit of it against Newcastle, but he was bang on with it against PSG, and there was a maturity level to his performance against PSG that made me think, you know what, even when Ollie wants to go forward with this change of formation, tweaking it where he can, I think Fred has to be the one player that sort of sits back at the moment on form. I don't see Matic getting back in after these performances of Fred right now. Question is, can he be consistent? Is he going to get a chance to be consistent? Because everyone's wanting their certain players in. The demand for the players coming into this team now, the squad players, is going to get harder and harder on Ollie. So, I mean, do you think Freddie's going to get his chance?
I think he should. I think he deserves it. He was one of the best players going. Before we got Bruno last season, Fred was one of the best players out there.
Arsenal losing 1-0.
Typical Arsenal in Europa League. That. No, Fred was one of the best players in the United team last season. When he had a string of games together, he was more consistent. So I think you got to play Fred in like a CDM role. I think that's what you want to play. If you want to play the diamond, you could play Fred CDM with Bruno, Pogba, and Van der Beek. But then again, you leave McTominay out. I don't believe we should be playing this free forwards anymore. I think it's been figured out, and I think it leaves us exposed. So I think it should be Rashford and Martial up top. Obviously, Martial suspended, but Cavani, if he's fit, it's a case of trying it. But like I said, you can try that. Fred should be captain CDM.
Does the two forwards work better than the three? Because people are shouting for Mata to come back into the team after his performance against Newcastle. But then again, it's like Soph was saying to me before, you've got the likes of Reece James and Chilwell who will bomb forward. Is Mata the type of player that's going to be able to cover that and help out defensively? Or do you go down the same road as formation-wise like we did against PSG, knowing what Chelsea have got in their locker? But obviously, we do know that Chelsea's soft-centred defence is gettable. Is it a case of sticking with the same formation, just being a little bit more cautious going forward in terms of that starting lineup? The two defensive-ish midfielders, because I thought they did link up quite well with Bruno through the middle. I just don't know if we're going to get as much space as we did against PSG, because they were just a free spirit and completely all over the place. So, I mean, if you was to change that midfield in any way, shape or form, how would you change it? Who would you bring in for the one of the two?
I'd give Van der Beek a shot. I would, because like you said, Martial's suspended as well now. So
could you not play Van der Beek in the front three somewhere?
Exactly. Yeah, you could do. You could play him up top with Rashford, or you could play Bruno there and switch Van der Beek there. These things need to be tried out. Like I said, he played in them advanced roles for Ajax before Van der Beek. So why not? Because Martial. I don't know if Cavani is going to be fit or not. If anything, it'd be bench. But the last thing I want to see is Daniel James in that team up top with Rashford. You can't do that. I'm struggling with Daniel James at the moment. I just think he runs into that thin air. Daniel James. A lot of people like him, but that's what I like. Like you said, Ollie, he's trusted players who run through brick walls for him. Daniel James is that type of player. Is he going to do that in the big games, or is he going to go with the likes of Pogba?
I mean, there's players coming in to suit a certain role and putting in a shift, but when you've got no end product, what is the point of that player?
Yeah, exactly.
It just defeats the object completely.
Yeah.
Jack says, yes, utilise Van der Beek as Martial is suspended. Definitely.
Definitely. Yeah.
I mean,
he played there for Ajax.
Is there a shout for Cavani even coming into this team? That's the question.
If he's fit, yeah, why not? He's a goal scorer. You know what I mean? He's going to get the chance, isn't it? It just feels like ages ago since we signed him, and we're not seeing him. It's crazy. But if Cavani's not fit, I think you need to try Van de Beek with Rashford because his link-up play is brilliant. You need to give him the chance, and I bet he is.
With a Bruno just behind.
Yeah, with a Bruno just behind. Because imagine how he feels, Van de Beek. He's come in for 40 odd million. He's been sat on the bench. It's frustrated me, but can you imagine how he feels? And he's done nothing wrong. Do you know what I mean? That's the worst thing about it. It's not like he's come on and had bad games. He's come on like he said. That play started for him for the winning goal against Newcastle. The link-up play with Mata. It was brilliant. And then we killed.
A few ideas and comments going. Could Rashi not play up front on his own and have Bruno and Van de Beek split slightly in behind? Yeah, there is a link there. There is a link there. Someone just popped up with a chat a second ago. Where was it now? Where was it? There it is there. Shamir there talking about Tellers putting the balls in. Yeah, I mentioned this before on Sophie's show. The last time I seen a man dig a ball out like that was when Valencia was playing in his heyday. The balls were ridiculous, man. And if Cavani comes on, like say for the last half hour, if he doesn't start the game or second half, whatever it may be, then you know what? Then balls in for him with Chelsea's soft centre. Then there's a definite opportunity there, and there's a definite plan B there for us.
Yeah,
he's sort of trying to mix out the best of the PSG game and the Newcastle game, spinning the formations into one, finding out what is the best formation going forward. Because like you said, Martial's still out another 2 games, so it gives us a chance. It gives us a chance to try something different. I mean, people, you get me your comments in there. Let me know how you see it. I knew you would change, if any, from that PSG game. Let's just think in a super chat here from Stream with Alex. Cheers for the super chat. Do you think Ole has a problem with some players letting go of their ego and playing within the system? Fred and McTominay don't have that problem. It's a very, very good point, because I've seen it from the Newcastle game. Ole just seemed to put in players that he trusts and go with it. Stay in the game, give me the energy, give me everything you've got. And you know what? They did. And that pretty much give Ole the confidence to say, all right, I can trust you. I'm going to put you in against PSG. And they did the job again against PSG. So I'm looking at it going, okay, Ole's found his workers now. And what has been nice to see is Pogba's just got on with it. He could have been sulking on the sidelines. But every time he's come on and he's been effective. He's not moped around. He still looks like he's having a good crack with the lads in training, not kicking up a stink or being poisonous like some people would say. But for me, I think Pogba coming in and doing what he's done is sort of earmarked a change in mentality going forward with his team. I just hope it can last, because on paper, on performance, it's totally different. On performance right now, it's hard to see McTominay and Fred coming out of the team. It is. But Fred and McTominay with 4 behind them, rather than the 5 at the back, well, it was more like a 5-man midfield they were playing that high up.
Yeah.
So I just think it all depends on that formation. Another one, and everyone's praised the defence against PSG. Then you're looking at, does he play 5 at the back? And if El Capitano is fit again in Harry Maguire, does he come straight back into that team, and who for?
No, he doesn't come back in. He needs to stay out of it.
But he's the captain. Does he play because he's the captain? This is the question, like Streaming said there, for the egos and the players, the standings in the squad and the team. Well, I'm the captain. Does that not mean that I come straight back in? Or has Ole quashed this? Are we about to see it at weekend?
No, he needs to grow, like I said, grow a pair of balls. He needs to basically tell Maguire it should go off form. It shouldn't go off captaincy. I'm the captain, I'm this. If he's the captain, he should be understanding that he's not been good lately. He was okay against Newcastle, but it wasn't hard against Newcastle. They were awful. But Maguire needs to be taken away from the limelight a bit, because it doesn't help the situation if he has a bad game. And you've got Axel, Shaw, and Lindelof, who didn't put a foot wrong against PSG. If it's not broke, don't fix it. It's going to be one of them. But again, it goes back to these egos. If Pogba can get on with it, And why can't Maguire?
Shout out for Sophie's in the room. Thanks again for the shout out. Superb peeps. Keep up the great content. Cheers, Soph. Thanks for coming on. Just checking up a few others. Manny Costa. If Maguire is a real United teammate, he should gracefully give captaincy to Bruno. He's not going to, though, is he? Let's be honest. He's not just going to give up his chance of captaincy. How I see it is, he will come in wanting to prove a point. That's what I will see. And we've all said, and I said it last season, I said our main 11 was untouchable. And towards the end of last season, it drifted off. The performances drifted off because we knew that no one was going to come in and threaten them for the places. I looked at De Gea, now Henderson's coming. All of a sudden, we look like we got the De Gea from 4 seasons ago. And that PSG performance and the save he made against
Wilson
for Newcastle, you know what? That does look like it. And now I'm looking at Maguire going, oh, wow. Jesus, we just beat PSG and I'm not in the team. And we just looked the best we've been defensively I've seen under Ole. I've got to admit, that's the best I've seen us defend under Ole. In terms of organisation, I could see exactly which way we were going. So for me, I'm looking at Maguire going, right now I've got to come back and I've got to up my game because we have got defenders missing and I'm still struggling to get in this team. Competition for places. I'm looking at Rashford up in his game. Bruno's upped his game even more for me. Pogba's coming on, not kicking up a stink. He's just doing his thing, performing like he has done. McTominay and Fred are taking their chance.
Matters playing
Is the
well.
penny dropping? Is it? It's 2 games. That's all it is, though, Ant. It's 2 games. Is the penny dropped? That's what I want to know. We need consistency more than anything.
Exactly.
It's all right beating these teams here, there, and it being one-off and big occasions to beat these teams. But should it be more of, this should be expected. We should be able to beat the bigger teams, so-called bigger teams. Be competing with them. That's the mentality again. Quick shout out to the newest member of the channel. I think he's got a good name as well. Smoking Coben. Mate, thank you very much for joining the team. Do stay tuned for all the perks that membership brings as well. Anyone else who does want to get behind the channel, follow suit to Smoking Coben. I think I'm saying that right. Smoking Coben. Is it Coben? No.
Coben.
It's Coben, yeah.
Coben.
Sorry. Yes, Mrs. having a go at me because I can't read properly.
Smoking Coben.
Anyway, my man, thank you very much for joining the team. And like I said, do stay tuned for all the perks that bring. And you may be able to win something like this. All the members get a chance to get in the retro kits. I have tons being loaded on me right now. And all sorts of sponsorship news and stuff and deals coming forward. I'll fill you in with that all at weekend. But like I said, anyone who does want to support the channel, it is much appreciated. To answer all the questions that people are still answering me, no, I am not on the United stand anymore, people. I am going alone. Things wasn't working the way that I wanted, and it didn't suit both parties. So that's how we're doing it. Moving on, anyway. Super chat in from Simon Cowie. De Gea, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Tunzabe, Lindelof, Tellers, Fred, Van der Beek, Pogba, Fernandes, Rashford, Cavani, 4-4-2. Diamond, Mike Bassett style there, Simon, mate. 4-4-2. But in a diamond. Interesting. It's pretty much everything but what's changed there, really. Cavani's in and Van der Beek and Pogba are in. Fred in there as... Well, Fred's there pivoting, obviously.
No Shaw, no McTominay.
But for me, you just look at it and you go, right, okay, it looks fantastic on paper. The team looks dangerous. Have we got the right blend to carry it off yet? Do we need... what are you saying here now? What's all the Lone Ranger comments, people? Have I said something that I don't even realise I've said? I don't know. A few people have come up with it. Someone just get back to me. I don't know what I've said. But yeah, that's why the comments are there, just to fill me in, as always. Thank you very much.
That's because you've gone solo.
Yeah, going into that team, and one standout performer, especially on his debut, was Tellez. Playing a Cavani up front, I see that going because King Cantona in the membership section has said that also as well. And I just feel like Tellez now and competition for places again. If Tellez is fit and we're going with 4 at the back, does Luke Shaw start? Does he stay in that team, Ant?
It's a tough one, that, though, because I do like Luke Shaw. And I thought Tellez was bought for competition for Luke Shaw or as backup. But for me, Luke Shaw's not done anything wrong in the last 2 weeks. I think Luke Shaw has to start. But I do like Luke Shaw's a left-sided centre-half in the 3 at the back with wing-backs. So if it was up to me, I would have both playing. I'd play at the 3 at the back with the wing-backs because it was effective against PSG. Again, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Well, there, agreeing with you, Ant, saying exactly the same thing. Why should we change a winning team when the players are looking confident and playing much better than earlier games? You know what? It is the ultimate, isn't it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That is the ultimate. What's that one saying there? Marcus is my moderator tonight. Marcus, can you all wish me a happy birthday? Marcus, you've got to be serious when you say that. Is it honestly your birthday, mate? If it is, then happy birthday, Marcus. Marcus has been on the show before and is my moderator. I had to put him in after that carnage that there was after the PSG game anyway. What else have we got in the comments here now? People let me know as well, in terms of tweaking this system. We know we're not always going to play 5 at the back. So, if it's 4 at the back, who is your left back? Let me know, people, as well. And does Tellez play as well with the free rein that he did get against PSG as a full-on fullback? Is he going to leave us exposed if he does venture forward? Does he play when we have that 5 midfield, 5 at the back, whichever way you want to call it? I'm not sure. Let me know, people, if we do go 4 at the back. Let's see. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let me see. Tellez. Yeah, Danielle, Tellez. It's kind of unanimous, this one. Tellez has to start. If we have to go defensive, if we second hold, bring Shaw on. True. I know.
It's a tough one.
It's going to be interesting because we haven't seen him. We've seen him in a perfect formation with a team that is, well, let's be honest. They've got players in that forward line, PSG, that just do not want to track back. And then they didn't have their best midfield, didn't have their best defence playing. So, really, it's looking like Tellez was perfectly suited to that game when really I didn't see it that way. I thought it was sort of into the lion's den. But I'm really interested to see him in a 4 just to see how he does perform, if it's at the same level. Because I do think that 5 at the back does suit him a lot more. Mike, Tellez looks impressive. Definitely a very, very good. I said this before. You know what, Ant? Your comments on this. I was talking to Sophie about this before. Every signing that Ollie's bought has got off to an absolute flyer.
Yeah.
He does know how to pick them, doesn't he?
Hopefully Cavani's the same.
Yeah. I think there's only Van der Beek. I mean, he's looked good when he's been off the bench.
He's not done anything wrong.
But he's the anomaly, not anomaly.
Yeah, get it out.
Get it right, Stotter. Come on. I'm totally tongue-tied tonight, people. I think Jack's confused me with that Lone Ranger thing. But
it's because you said you went solo.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh.
Get with it.
Gordon Bennett. Okay. Moving on quickly. Members comment section going up. Tellez better end product, and I think his defensive attributes are underrated. Been watching a lot of Portuguese football, my members.
Portuguese
King
league's
Cantona,
different.
the latest prize winner, double prize winner, King Cantona, by the way.
Exactly.
I hope Ali doesn't play Dan James. No, I hope so too, mate. He couldn't find his face in a mirror. Never mind a teammate with a ball. Great shout, mate. But let's not be too harsh on him. He's trying his best, and he has got a little bit better. All he needs to rotate to keep playing players fresh, match fit. Post-lockdown, he killed starting 11. Bench not match sharp. True, very true. He's got to utilise his squad. Definitely VK, mate. 100%. Totally agree with that. And that did help. And it has started to help a lot more. Joey writes with the super chat, we need pace Tellez has. We need the pace Tellez has. If it was Maguire against Mbappe on those attacks instead of Axel,
it would have been bad.
He's walking into the goal. Very, very true. But if it was Mbappe on Lindelof, I think it would have been the same result. So the
They worked
question
that
is,
well.
Joey, I think, is it Lindelof or Maguire to partner Axel? And that just shows where we're at, because you've got £120 million worth of defenders that we've bought in Lindelof and Maguire, and Axel is the one that we're all hoping plays, someone who costs us absolutely nothing. Goes a long way to say that, doesn't it? I mean, some of our youth players at the moment are holding this club up, because without Rashford, without the likes of Axel, you know what I mean, McTominay playing well as well, Greenwood when he comes in.
Did
You
you
know
see
what?
this? Did you see the size of him when he did that video with Cavani the other day on Twitter when they posted it?
Mate,
Him
he's a
running,
unit.
he's huge.
He is an absolute unit. I remember
What's he been eating?
Southampton last season. He was a unit then. I remember watching him in the warm up. He's a beast of a man.
Yeah.
Exact. Jack's bang on the money. The spine of our team are academy players.
Yeah.
What can you say? If you put Henderson in goal, then whoa, there you go. Says it all, doesn't it? Tom's in the house. Remember, cheers, Tom, mate. Axel has earned a run in the team. Would have established himself last year, barring injury. Definitely,
Yeah,
mate.
he had a bad injury,
agree
didn't he?
on
Yeah.
that. People were pulling me on social media saying you're going over hyping Axel after one game. It wasn't one game for me. This is exactly how Axel was playing before he got his injury. His performances have
Did well
been dead
against Arsenal
level
last
every
year.
time, and that level has been high. It has been high. A super chat coming in from Don Grace. Cheers, Don, mate. His favouritism has been schoolboy stuff and has left him exposed to the severe criticism he's deserved. We can see now that he just may have learned. Thoughts on that, Ant? That Don said there. Is Ollie learning?
Yeah.
Is he starting to learn?
Well, yeah, he's had to, hasn't he? Like I said, you can't. He has his favouritisms, like you said, he's yes men. Very similar to Van Gaal and very similar to Moyes. They didn't get the time to learn. Obviously, Ollie's obviously getting the time, because the board keeps saying they're going to back him and they're going to back him. And obviously, it's a process of Ollie. Like you said, last season, he went with what he knew. He didn't have the players again last season. He just worked on his defence. He got Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, Daniel James, then when we got Bruno. I think with Ollie, it is all about time, but the fan base obviously don't give him enough time. But I think with him, he has to learn and learn quick. And he's made a lot of mistakes. Like that team he put out against Newcastle. When I seen that team, I thought it was writing his death warrant. I thought he was gone. And then when we went behind, I thought he's gone. He's going to go for this, just for this performance. And then obviously they played well, United overall. But in terms of Ole, I think he has sort of turned the corner, but only time will tell, and consistency, because he is going to get the time. I can't, unless we get smashed the next 5 or 6 games, which could happen. But I just think, in my opinion, I think he's turned the corner a little bit, and I think we're going to go on one of these runs, because we do. And all his track record against the big teams is good, barring what happened against Spurs. But that was a wake-up call, like we said. That's what these players needed. But turning the corner now with Ole, I honestly think that we're going to go on a run. I'm trying to stay positive, but I think if Bruno's captain, I think we'll go on a run. I definitely do.
That's it. I mean, people in the comments there saying, I don't know about that. Where is the blonde Shane Long?
No, he's not. He's a bit better than that.
Yeah, I'd say a little bit better than that, definitely. But people, just under 400 in the room with us now. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that share button. Do get behind the channel. Appreciate all the support as always. And your comments are bang on tonight, people. You are destroying it. We haven't got no far right parties in the comments tonight. Marcus is dealing with them for me. But yeah, looks like they've stayed at home tonight and been quiet. But yeah, that's it. I mean, going forward in terms of formation, someone has touched on Pogba there as well. So I think Pogba is key to this new regime. If Pogba can do like he's done, come on, not kick up a stink, still keep his positive attitude in the training ground, which we all know he has got, then you know what, he could be the player that sort of gels this together. You know, he's come on the pitch, he's done his thing twice. The case for formation change with Pogba, the last thing Pogba needs now is being put back in that holding role, and because he plays so much better out on the out on the left-hand side of the midfield. Exactly. Is there a chance for a 4-3-3 system working? You could easily play a Fred with a Van der Beek one side, Pogba the other side.
Yeah.
Then you could play a Martial or Rashford or Cavani in there with Bruno just sat behind as a 4-3-3. Adapt that to a 4-4-2
Yeah.
in defensive situations.
That's
Got to be, if you're looking for roles for players and you're trying to make players fit, then there has to be some form of adaptability in this formation and tactic wise.
I see it as it's an headache. It's a healthy headache that Ollie's got, because this time last year he had Pereira, Matic, and McTominay. Fred wasn't near the squad yet after he had a meltdown against Newcastle away. It was the worst game I've seen Fred play in a United shirt, and that was one of the worst away days last season. But it's a case of it's a healthy option. But with Pogba, we all know where Pogba plays best. He plays better in the three-man midfield on the left. That's where he was good at Juventus, and that's where he's been effective at Manchester United. But it's a case of if you have a 4-3-3, who's basically the holding role? Is it Fred? Is it Fred, Pogba?
Fred would pivot it.
Fred pivot, Pogba on the left. Did you say Bruno
Van der
on the right?
Beek on the right.
And then you have a 2 and a 1.
Bruno just in
like
front.
a diamond. Just like a diamond.
Bruno just behind
and then
the
Cavani
front two. Because let's be
Cavani,
honest, you could have the fullbacks doing the wing work if we did, but you can adapt that formation though. I think you can easily adapt it because Van der Beek can move forward. You could easily pull one of Martial or Rashford back to the wing, move Van der Beek into the middle, push Pogba up as another target man going. There's so many options there. We just want to see a bit of versatility with it. It all comes down to if the players are on board with Ole. It's clearly something has happened behind the scenes, and some serious talks have taken place, because the reaction that we've got is one of what we wanted to see. I'm still annoyed that it took a 6-1 defeat for us to actually get to this stage anyway. Just get into some of the comments as well as I can here. Where's Paul? Will he be on again? He's funny. Devil's reject, mate. Yeah, top. Devil's been with me for a while, actually, mate. He is coming on. I think he may possibly be on Sunday. So hopefully he is. He's just been busy moving house at the moment, so his head's up his ass, basically, and he's got loads to do. He has got loads to do. Just going to get into a few more of the comments. All we need is Martial, Matic, and Mata, and we'll win, Adam. We can bench Bruno and bring in Donny. Donny and Mata are class. They work well together. I don't think Matic.
In what game, Mata?
I don't think Matic and Mata suit the same game, to be honest, mate. I don't think Bruno needs to be dropped while he's still as influential as he is. Van der Beek.
You can't drop Bruno.
Van der Beek, for me, wow, it's sort of like you've got an abundance of talent in that midfield. I don't see Van der Beek taking Bruno's spot while Ollie's in charge. I don't. I understand Van der Beek is competition for Bruno. Even Mata really should be competition for Bruno's role, but no one ever seems to play Mata in the middle. He's always out on the right. And then you come up against a big team with Mata on, and that's the problem, innit? If Mata's on the right, where, if Mata was in central, I'd feel a little bit more confident of playing him. The problem is you can't play him ahead of Van der Beek and Bruno, for me. No. If Mata's on the right and he cuts in all the time and leaves that wing wide open, then we have got cover at the back. That's what Mata sort of drops us in a little bit. Yeah. So I just feel like Mata works in certain games, but big games I don't think he does. Mata works in the games like Newcastle for me. I just don't see him working. And to be honest, I would play the holding midfielder that's in form, and that at the moment is Fred. And you can't really. I mean, McTominay had a good game the other day, but Fred was just at another level for me. So I think Matic has to earn his way back in as well. Yeah, definitely. Ashley's stirring the pot tonight there a little bit. It's over everyone's. It's not over mine, mate. I know exactly where you're coming from, pal. I know exactly where you're coming from, mate, so don't worry. I just feel like Mata's been wasted positionally his whole career at United. He keeps getting played on the right, and I just don't think it suits him. He needs to be playing as the 10. I think Chelsea built a team around Mata before Jose came back in, and Chelsea were frightening with Mata in that forward position role.
Mata and
For some
Hazard.
reason, ever since Mata came to United, we've just had to shoehorn him into a position because he was a player we didn't need at the time. He was just bought, yet literally,
To appease the
because he
fans.
was the only player available for David Moyes to try and find some face after having a shocking summer window. So for me, it's the only reason Mata's in this team right now, because Chelsea wanted rid of him and United were desperate to spend money, and he was the only player that was available in January. So, and he's been wasted. He's been great, don't get me wrong. Love Mata, but
good servant.
I don't think one of our managers has played him in the right position. So if you are going to play him, they're always going to play him on the right, and that's a limited amount of games. Matic, I think his time is coming. He cannot play constantly, and he's finding competition now in Fred. I mean, I thought if we'd have gone for a Partey, then you know what, we'd have seen the last of Matic. But I mean, it's a tough one. But ultimately, Ant, who is your starting team against Chelsea? I mean, it's going to be a tough one to call because players coming back. You've got to find someone to cover in for Martial. Formation, does it stay the same? Do you pick the same team?
Yeah, I would say I'd stay with the three at the back. Obviously, I'd have the hair in the net with Lindelof, Axel, Shaw, Telles, and Wan-Bissaka. I would then play Fred in the pivot, and I would swap McTominay for Pogba. I'll put Pogba in there. Big game coming up. Put Pogba instead of McTominay, and the rest, obviously, instead of Martial, it'd be Cavani if he's fit. Or if not Cavani, it'd be Van der Beek. But no, I don't. It's a tough one that because I want them all in, but I still have to change the team and go back to what someone posted before about having the four at the back and having the diamond with Fred, Pogba, Van der Beek, and Bruno, and have Cavani and Rashford up top. But that means Shaw will have to come out, even though Shaw is probably. I do think Shaw is our best left back because we've only seen Telles in one game. He's not played in the Premier League before, and it's up against Chelsea, so can't get too carried away with that. But if Telles is playing, it gives Cavani the option in the ball in the box, and we've not had a striker like that for a while since Lukaku. We've got the skillful strikers with pace, and basically killing him off. We've not got that option anymore. But now we've got Cavani. We have got that option in getting the balls in the box, and he can score with his head. He's proven goal scorer, so it gives us more options now.
I mean, Nex has said there, does Fred only work when McTominay plays? It's the thing. Fred's best performances have always come alongside McTominay. It's right. It's a fair point.
Whenever McTominay plays with Matic, he's awful as well. They tried that before. They said that with McTominay and Matic.
No, that you're definitely right with that. That will never, ever work. King Cantona 7 going for 3-0. Ooh, a clean sheet. That's asking something now.
A win will do.
Yes.
A win will do. Chelsea are not going to score because they are good at going forward, but the defence is like teddy bears, aren't they? The defence, especially that is it Christensen?
Christensen, yeah.
Christensen and Zuma together. That's a recipe for disaster. That, and even Thiago's, even Silva now. He's showing at the Premier League's a different league to him.
Oh, that's it. It's not the same. It's not the easy ride, the Premier League. Tom's going with De Gea, Axel, Maguire, Shaw, and Wan-Bissaka Telles, 5 at the back. McSauce, Fred, Bruno, Rashford, Cavani, or Greenwood. Oh, you went to spoil it there, mate. You can't decide between Cavani and Greenwood. Ooh, it's got him. Let's see what else everyone else is saying. I think Donny can be very good at the top in a partnership with Rashid. A few have said that tonight, mate. That is an interesting one, that for him to come in and replace Martial. It's definitely an option, I think. Definitely an option. Raul, where did you just go then, mate? I know you just come in with a team there. Right?
Van der Beek did that well at Ajax. He did that well with Ziyech.
De Gea, Axel, Lindelof, Telles, Shaw. Going forward at the back. Fred, Van der Beek, Bruno, Rashford, Greenwood and Cavani. Who would you put in the central role then? You take Rashford back out to the left, Greenwood on the right with Cavani in the middle.
There's no Axel in that team.
Fred, pivot in, Van der Beek and Bruno then.
He's got two left backs.
Would definitely work. So that's pretty much a 4-2 1-3.
There's no
with
Wan-Bissaka in there
Bruno
either.
just behind the front three. Fred holding, Van der Beek being the link from top to bottom, putting the engine work in.
Where's Wan-Bissaka there? You're playing 2 left backs. Is it?
No, he's putting
Alex.
What's he done there?
Alex.
So you've got 2 left backs in. So I think
There's no Wan-Bissaka.
you're getting mixed up. I think either Shaw. I think Wan-Bissaka's in for Shaw or Tella's there. I'm guessing you've got Wan-Bissaka in for Shaw. Super chat coming in from streaming. Cheers, streaming with Alex. Any thoughts on the rumours about Dennis Zakaria from Mönchengladbach?
I'm done with
looks
transfers.
like a solid CDM and the price won't be too high. Interesting the way United are going. Rumoured to be spearheading this new Super European League, actually. And in terms of players, they're just looking for the power. I think United are spearheading this because they know they can't compete to the level that they want to in the Premier League in terms of being the powerhouses. They want the power to go back to the top 6. So I think United are hoping that players like this come around and they're always going to be looking towards the top 6 in the Super League, because I don't think United right now are top of their own country's league. So, you know what? I think players like this are the ones we'd be looking at if we do stay as it is. I think come a few years, if they do manage to get the Super League going, which I don't want and I don't think will happen, then you know what? You probably won't be looking at players like this. United are just trying to change. United and the Glazers, Ed Woodward, are trying to turn it into football franchise. We all know it. They don't want pitfalls of relegation or not being in the Champions League. They want the top 6 to always be the top 6, or be in a division or a league where you're always playing against the elite and the big money games. It's as simple as that. They don't want it. They don't like that they can't dominate this league with not spending a lot of money. They want everything to be handed to them on a plate with no shortfalls, with nothing to hit them back. And that's how I think they're going. Yeah. How I got onto that through that comment, I do not know. But yeah, good player. It's all going to be these unsung players for United now. I think the days of the marquees are gone. Sancho would have been marquee-ish. Still a young player that we're spending a lot of money on. But interesting to see Pellistri on the bench. No Lingard in the week. Lingard's days numbered.
Yep.
I mean, this squad announcement. No Romero, no Jones.
Hey.
Where's Lingard? He can't even get on a bench of 7.
I don't know with Lingard. You know how I feel about Lingard. He's not good enough. He should have gone in the summer. Is he out of contract next year? Is it? Jones, Rojo, Romero, Lingard, all out of contract next year.
I love little names like that. I just had to bring that up. McTominator. I'm going to use that one. No, forget the sauce. Forget McSauce. It's McTominator.
Yeah.
Quality. And man, what is that picture? Get Said off that card, man. Change it up. Right. Lingard was injured. Stories he's injured. But apparently Demo was injured, but he's not. That's an interesting question, though, Jamie. Would he even get on the bench?
No.
With this squad? Because, let me say, going with the squad you've got now, everyone, I'm going to pose this question to you all as well. We all know what team we're thinking of, but who would be your bench?
Interesting.
Who's your bench, Ant?
Obviously, Henderson's on the bench. Mata will be on the bench. Going off this weekend would be Maguire. I know for a fact he's going to go with the same team, so it would be Pogba or Van der Beek will be on the bench. Cavani might be on the bench. You even got a Gallo as well.
Yeah.
Williams. Forgot about Brandon Williams. Matic. There's Fosu Mensah as well. He's good energy to come on as well. Obviously, Daniel James. It's an option to come off the bench to tear a defence out. There's some options there. Lingard's not even there. Lingard's not even an option. And you've got Pellistri, like Pellistri, and then this new kid that comes in January, if he gets anywhere near this Traore kid. There's options. There's plenty of options. Lingard just doesn't cut it. He don't get it. He don't get in the team. And the fact that Jones and Rojo are not even the team for the Premier League is brilliant. It's music to my ears, that. Are them two. Just sponges, them two. That's what annoys me about these people, these players, the sponges. That's a good bench.
Martial can't play, don't forget, guys.
Greenwood as well, lad. I forgot about Greenwood.
Oh, there you go. You know what I mean? All these players are not getting in the team.
Interesting.
This is it, isn't it?
Squad depth.
It's very, very interesting. Ash just saying, surely Maguire will start if available. I'd love you to change my mind. I'm not going to, mate, because I know what Ollie's like.
He'll put him in.
If Maguire's fit, he will play. I guarantee it. You can come back and hit me on it at weekend after the game if you want for that comment. But I'm telling you now, if Maguire's fit, he plays that game. One of Lindelof or Axel will be dropped because I don't think he's going to drop Shaw either, especially if he plays 3 at the back.
Because he's left side.
Interesting if he goes to 4 at the back, what that defence will be. Because I do feel like he's going to find it hard to change the performance that we're on the game against PSG and bring in players who you could say have not been anywhere near that performance. So it is incredibly interesting. It really is.
He's going to play Maguire.
I said at the start of this season, I had a prediction. Back when I was on the United stands, it said, "What's your shout out for the season? Your prediction, like the swerve ball comment." I said this season United will score more goals in the league than we ever have since Ferguson left. And at the moment, we're on track for it. People, just bear that in mind. That was my shout at the start of the season. I mean, here's one for you before we finish. Who is going to be, and coming on this one, who's going to be United's top goal scorer this season, actually? Now that everything's in, now we've seen the start, we're looking at, there's 2 at the top already. Bruno and Rashford have both got 4 each, leading the way again. Martial's poor start has put him behind already. Yeah. Who's going to be top scorer this season, Ant?
Well, if they're going off penalties, it's going to be Bruno, isn't it?
Bruno's up there, isn't
he? Yeah. No, but Rashford just looks a different level at the moment. To start off with, he didn't look with it and fit, but last few weeks he's just took it to another level. I have a feeling Rashford's going to have a good season this year. Over 20 goals in the Premier League this season, Rashford, I think. But I think Bruno will be right behind him. Hopefully. I'm going with Rashford.
Rashford, yeah. Bruno and Rashford seem to be the only one people are coming out at. Yeah,
I know. You've got to give Cavani a chance. Never know.
Cavani, it depends how much he plays, doesn't it? That's it. It's all about how many games Cavani's going to play. So, let's just get a few comments in before we finish up. Adam, do you think we may come out of this rough run of games without a loss because how we tend to act in big games? I think Ant touched on that a minute ago. You looked at it on paper and you went, ooh, not liking these games coming up here. This is going to be the true test for Ollie. But then again,
he pulls through these.
We always seem to do it, don't we? We always seem to do it. And like you said, I feel like when the backs are against the wall and we've got a big team coming to town,
they always pull it out.
We always get a reaction. We always do. You know what I mean? Right up there in the group now, managed to beat Leipzig next, then I think it's all over. I think if we beat RB Leipzig in that next game, I think we're already through. Because I can't see us not beating that Dross Istanbul team. Because they've had a shocking start to the season.
Yeah.
And they just do not look at it at all. If we do beat Leipzig at home, I'm pretty much saying that we're already qualified for the Champions League. All we'd need to do then is pretty much get a win and a draw against Istanbul, and it's done. It's 10 points in the bag.
Yeah.
I can't see us not beating them once at least. So big game against Leipzig. We could really take some pressure off the fixture pile up if we do beat them, because we could find ourselves in a position where, you know what, we've got a lot of games coming up, and the games after the Champions League games we all know are tough ones, especially the away games. So if we've got a chance to rest players in the future, then you never ever know. You never know. Score predictions to finish off for this weekend. Carey's pretty much put us on there to this one. To finish up, everyone, hit me with yours in the comments below. And what are you going with? I've already said it. I'll come up with mine. Said it yourself. It's 4-2 to United. And that's what it's going to be this weekend.
3-1.
3-1.
3-1 United. I'm going for a Rashford brace and a Bruno penalty.
2-1, 1-0, 5-1. What? Jamie.
It can be done.
Jamie is definitely drinking something tonight.
Chelsea leaking goals.
True.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, you know what, mate? After watching the start of this season, it's probably a fair shout, to be honest. It could be anything. 3-0, 3-0, 2-0, 3-0, 2-2 for Rance. 4-2. Great banter. Yeah, I've gone with 4-2. Dino's gone with me 4-2 as well. Jose Mourinho thinks we're going to win 6-1. Like it. 6-0 Chelsea to the spoiler alert there. Yeah, with what can only be described as the worst picture ever.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting crazy now. Come on. Calm it down, everybody. Calm it down. Hey, it's going up. Who's going to come up with a 10-0? Someone's got to come up with 10-0 in a minute. Seriously. Yeah. Someone's hitting the 10-0 mark, I'm telling you. Anyway, people, calm your heads down. That is it for tonight. I am going to wrap it up there. Don't forget, if you do want to get behind the channel, do just click on that join button on the main page. Become a member. All your contributions, as well as the super chats, people are well and truly grateful and taken on. And that's why I am giving back as always. I will be giving more shirts like this retro one out to the member section with the questions that come. Stay tuned for that. All the members will be informed with that anyway. And we look forward and ahead to weekend. It's all about getting that win against Chelsea, I think. And if we do, then we can really say we're sort of turning a corner. Because then we're pretty much, I think we go ahead of Chelsea, don't we, if we beat them?
Yeah, I think we're on 7 or 8.
Yeah, we're well and truly in it.
A game in hand as well. Got a game in hand as well.
Game in hand. So, yeah, you know, it's anyone's for the taking. Let's just see what we do. People, give the video a like, share the video, get your comments in below when it goes on the channel later. I will scroll through them and try and get back to as many people as possible, as always. Subscribe to the channel if you are watching for the first time. We're going from strength to strength. Over 17,000 subs now on the channel. Going fantastic. And I will have some news, hopefully, regarding the sponsorships and deals going on towards weekend. But, quickly, I forgot. I've got a bit of a special one on Saturday for the game. I am going to be doing a watch-along. I don't know if you guys are interested, but if you did want to, now I'm on my own channel, my own rules. I'm doing my own watch-along, and I'm going to be joined by a little mini-me. He's coming out of his bedroom, off his PlayStation, and sitting with me for 2.5 hours straight. Alfie's back, people. He is back, and he is watching the match. God, father-son watch-along. Who knew, eh? Who knew? Just as I'm about to finish up, I get a super chat from Shane. I'm sure I just said I was finishing up, but cheers. Cheers, mate. Anyway, I can't ignore him. Adam, I think for the first time I can see United don't need a front three. Yeah, and the pride and passion was there. First time in years, LFC squad are injured. Like I said, mate, it's anyone's league this year. If Leicester can do it, if Villa can go 4 out of 4 for the start of a season, then anything is possible. My God. Yeah. And like I said, if City can concede 5, we can concede 6, and Liverpool can concede 7, top 3, already shipping them kind of goals this season, anything can happen. Anyway, people, it will be back. Watch along. I'll be on Say's channel tomorrow. Watch along with me and Alfie for the Chelsea game on Saturday. Back with a whole new panel on Sunday for a Sunday podcast show as well. Loads going on right now on the channel. Your support is immense as always. I am going to leave it there, people. And thanks for coming on.
No problem. Anytime.
Yeah. Up the Reds. And everyone have a good rest of the week. Look forward to the weekend with a bit of optimism.
3-1.
People, take care. I will see you on Saturday. Bye-bye.